We have is still a very young intergroup. So we started this term in a formal way. Our aim is to have much more influence from civil society and to integrate the commons in the public policies and in the definition of the policies here in the European Parliament. And we need to build up a network that we need to construct. That's why we are also trying to bring together all the actors from civil society, those who are working in these domains. But we decided to emphasize the common goods because they have been attacked. They are not at the center of the economy. On the contrary, we face a huge threat to public services and common goods through privatizations and the private ownership of these goods. So we need to make a lot of intervention in this field, and we didn't have a tool. So that's why we created the Commons Intergroup. We have members from all the different parliamentary groups, and we try to work together by putting amendments and proposals in the table in order to start to be incorporated in the public policies. We are not very used yet to the narrative of commons. I would say that in terms of political experience, we only have one example in Europe of a kind of government around the commons, which is in Barcelona, in the municipality. I think it was the very own origin of this government was this idea of putting in common all the things that are available for the citizens for improving their quality of life and to enabling them to have access to the common goods and public goods and all these issues. So we are not very used because we are still working in a different framework and with older tools. I think that the commons, for instance, put into question the very traditional conception of property that we have. And that's something that we need to face because we need to do politics to the future and we cannot only reproduce the old tools that we always have used. And in this moment of pressure over the commons, like the water, for instance, or natural resources, or digital commons, all these things in this moment of pressure in trying to make it more and more private, inaccessible, we really need to reinvent somehow the way of doing politics and the way of framing it, because if we don't frame it in the commons platform, I think that we are losing the battle between the public and private, and we need to regain it again. The idea of commons is one of those ideas which can bring us together and work at the economic level in all different scales. It is quite important when we think it's in a broader scale, like an umbrella, like a political concept and a way of doing politics when we think like that in terms of commons. But it also has to be dealt at national level, at local level, reinventing even the very own distribution systems in the communities. So I think it's a total new way of looking to the economy in a more cooperative, in a more solidarity and solidar and social way of thinking the economy.